That's the thing. He's one of the best in the world. That's what I want. You'll never hear me talk bad about Templario's ability. Never.
Right.
In September 14th, I might hate him, but until September 13th, I hate him. I hate him. I hate how I hate his mask. I hate his gear. I hate his moves. I hate where he comes from. I hate what he stands for. I hate everything. Right? It's like my shoes are better than yours. My house is bigger than yours. It's that. It's that until September 14th.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of If I May Speak Candidly, where we dive into the crazy world of wrestling from the comfort of my domain. And today, I got a good one for y'all because this interview actually came kind of clutch thanks to one of our good mutual friends who kind of made it possible for me to sit across from him. And hopefully we get to talk a lot about his time in MLW, his legacy, his upcoming championship match in a few weeks. And I got a little surprise lightning round for him at the end of the episode. So I think he will like it. Please welcome Ikuro Kwon. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. I appreciate you, sis, for setting this up. This was something that we were trying to. I mean, it's like weird. We said something on Twitter like a few months ago. It was a while ago. We did say something, and then things happen and whatnot. And then, as it so happened, I was getting really upset by the dryness of my calendar. And then, and then you just so happened to say something. It was just fate. I was feeling like that hour. I was feeling like.
Yeah.
And then you were like, we got to do a thing.
Yes, absolutely. Because, the first time I saw you wrestle was back in December. I got a chance to attend the MLW show for the Eric Bischoff show. And got to see a lot of faces, a lot of old faces that was in major promotions. I got to see a lot of new faces that kind of drew me to them, and I started following their careers, and you happen to be one of them. And then I saw you again this past June, which I had to talk to you about all the masses that you've been walking around with.
Yeah.
You got quite a little collection going on there, but we definitely get to that. But first, I just want to speak more on your character, which is, in my opinion, I feel like it's portrayed in, it's like it's shrouded in mystery, and it operates on pure chaos. And to understand him, what is the core belief, the one rule in his personal code that he would never break?
I want to own the world is really what it comes down to. I'm the soldier that went rogue. I have discipline in martial arts. I'm a black belt in Shaolin Kempo karate. Did some kickboxing, but I wrestled in high school. But got caught up in the streets a little bit. Definitely went down a different path, and therefore, the hands that I was taught to protect, I use for other things. And I think that's the difference between my style and other styles, where I'll take someone who I really respect, like a Mike Bailey, who has tremendous skill set, but a lot of his style is very much so tournament based, where it's for points, it's to win, but it's to look really good.
Right.
I just want your wallet. You know what I mean? I just want your title. I want your soul. You know what I mean? And so it comes across a little different. So I don't miss. But that's the reason why, like, that whole attitude towards it, the concrete dragon, all that, it's where, I'm 5'9", but I talk like I'm 6'5", and people will look at me as such, because it's not even like I'm talking shit. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. And there's never been anyone in wrestling that looks like me, who talks like me, who dresses like me, who is me. So being the blueprint of that, there's a lot of stuff like this, like having to kind of explain, being able to tell my side of the story, which is perfect for me because then I know I'm telling it right, you know? So, so I appreciate you again for giving me the platform to do so. But I think that's what appreciates me when something like, if I'm able to catch your eye when maybe you're there to maybe see somebody else and it's like, wait, who's this guy? That's the point that I want to make. That's the initial spark of what I want to do is initiate the conversation. Why am I drawn to this person? Why is this person different? And why do I want to see more? And how come he's not everywhere? That's the, I guess, like the humble arrogance that I bring with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, it's true because, yes, when I went to the show back in December, I went to see pretty much Eric Bischoff. I think we all kind of like grew up watching him and stuff. And I wanted to see like what he was going to bring to MLW. But I have to tell you that CONTRA Unit, it stood out to me that night because you have like this really huge guy and he's kind of he's terrifying, but he a really big guy, and then he has a group of other equally talented wrestlers, but they have like different styles, and it makes you want to know more about them, how they came together. Just being someone who's kind of starting to dig more into the indies wrestling scene when really all I've really watched was the bigger promotions.
Right.
And so yeah, to be honest, yeah, you stood out. And so it just made me say, I know y'all only come here twice a year, but I'm gonna make sure I go to those shows each time that y'all come here because it just, there's a story behind it, which is my next follow-up question. There's like this calculated precision to your violence, so to speak. Like it feels more like a soldier or an assailant versus a brawler.
Right.
So I guess I want to know more about where you learn your trait, your fighting style, and what shaped you into this specific kind of weapon.
Yeah. Well, kind of to backpack off the whole like soldier going rogue, right? Like that kind of Jason Bourne-esque essence of extremely skilled, knowing exactly what he's doing. Like, especially now, like a lot of matches you'll see, right, starts up with a lockup. If someone tries to lock up with me, I'm kicking their neck twice before they even get that close. Like it's
Right.
different. I'm not wrestling with you the way you think you are. You want to feel around? That's cool. I know exactly. I mean, I'm almost comfortable in an arm bar. Put me in one. Cool. I like it there. But there's a difference between like the honor part that I don't really vibe with. I don't care about a rope break. I might not want to lose, right? But I got to fight, right? And things where like people say that they can fight, but really what that means is that they fought their cousin in the backyard. Like they never had knives to them. They never had a gun in their face. They've never been stomped out by 9 people. Like these are things that I have been in and where my training did not matter at all. My training did not matter with a 10-on-1. My training didn't matter when I'm getting cut up. It doesn't matter. So I had to find other ways in that sense. Right. So you mix it, you mix disciplined martial arts training with survival and just being around, just being outside together. That's the style of it all. I can make it look pretty if I want to, but I don't want to. Those types of elements I think really gravitate towards the whole CONTRA like motive in general, which is just global takeover. It's not supposed to look pretty. It can. Look at Janai Kai. Janai Kai's form is impeccable, but everyone cringes when she kicks somebody because she knows what that is. Minoru Suzuki does not care how it looks. He knows everyone needs to breathe. If he stops you from breathing, you're not winning. Cruel is 7 feet tall. No one's ever been able to tell him what to do. When he was like 6 years old, he was getting the beer menu. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not like,
Right.
and again, and on top of that, I'm from New York. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't make it to where I am now. You don't make it to my, to my status of just my age, my education, the fact that I'm standing versus I, and there was a time where I was going to more funerals than graduations. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like that's where that's you too. That's where we're from. That's a reality
Yeah.
that other people don't understand. So it's not that you wear it on your sleeve like you're better than everybody. It's just people experience what I experienced at 11. They're experiencing it at 35, 40.
Right.
So I'm not impressed by people's stories as much as people's struggle because I figured that out. I knew who Santa was by the time I was 4. I mean, like nothing shocks me in that way. So
Right.
with that, that's how you gravitate. Talk about the first like part of Contra, the first like I guess initial group, right? It was myself, Simon Gotch, Joseph Samael, Jacob Fatu, Cruel came in later, Davari came in later, but just elite of the elite for for whatever reason other than some stuff just fits. And I think that's
Right.
kind of where that came to play, where you have all these different styles and all these different names and all these different backgrounds and resumes, but with the common goal of we're not even talking about being overstepped. We are
Mhm.
here. We're here now. So I
Right.
think and the fact that it kind of gravitated towards you when you were in New York and you felt that, like that's how like it was going the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I gotta ask, what borough are you from?
So it's funny. So like originally grew up in Queens but moved to Long Island. So I went to school in Long Island, in Nassau County. You could throw a rock and you'll hit Queens again. And most of my
Okay.
friends growing up, whether they were from there, like my mom's from Brooklyn, but like the idea of everyone kind of moving out there. When people think of Long Island, they think like Willow and MJF. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
shit sweets like the Hamptons. It can be, but trouble's gonna find trouble. If you want to fight,
Yeah.
there's people that want to fight. So it's not so you get a mixture of both. The only difference I could say was high school was better because we had richer friends, so it was just better parties. But like other than that, like
Right.
no, like it gets real just with less coverage. So sometimes it gets a little crazy because when shit gets
Right.
too hot in the city, where are they going? They're going to Long Island. They're going to Jersey. They're going to Connecticut, New Hampshire. Like people think these places don't get crazy. Like they get crazy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they
and
do.
even like one of my best friends growing up, he grew up in Dykeman. Like that's where his dad still lives. Like this is just
Okay.
what I'm saying. So this is just where like, or even my dad worked in Harlem his whole life. Like it's just New York it's not an attitude or necessarily like one borough. I feel like it's a learned experience that
Yeah.
even the squares that I grew up with who were good people, like they also know how to move. You have nerds backing into spaces when they go to the gym, when they go to the grocery store, because they know what's up. You don't got to be gangster into anything to have instincts of knowing what's going on. Even like
Right.
even the little kid watching people trap or doing this, they're part of the block. They're from there. They understand what's going on, and it's about and it is a survive or you know get brushed aside type of
Yeah.
situation. And I think a lot of
Absolutely.
and I think a lot of other people don't have that hustle, and I think part of it is because it just wasn't ingrained with them, so they have to find it. Like they're learning about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true. Because, living in every borough outside of Staten Island, which, you ask some people would say, Staten Island ain't really part of New York. Staten Island is like its own little separate world itself, but it's true. There, you learn very early that if you want something, you have to fight for it,
that's
especially
it.
here in New York, no matter what it is that you want to do.
Yep.
And honestly, I feel like it is true. The famous Frank Sinatra quote, if you can make it here, yeah, you can make it anywhere. Because New York is not for. There's a lot of people that come here with big dreams. They don't make it. They go back home. They tail between their legs because they realize that New York isn't the beautiful place that you see on Sex and the City. It's not. It's more so of. I always go back and forth between it paid in full. You want to know what New York is like? Watch Paid in Full. That's New York. That's
Yeah, it's a lot
you
of right.
know,
It's making it, it's as beautiful as you make it, but it's also you have to know what it comes with, and you have to be
yes.
prepared to be in in that environment, and that goes for any sort of like situation. Like I live in Florida now. Like
Okay.
there's a different there's a different social aspect. There's a different um energy that comes with it where you have Florida, like I have no business just like acting New York down here all the time. Like I gotta learn what's up here. I down here I gotta learn that versus like
Right.
I'm in their house. It might take a few years before I really feel like it's it's my home now, right? But everywhere has rules, everywhere has politics, everywhere has the way that they've done things. I think that's
Hmm.
part about the thing about New York that I think is so great is exactly like you said, like it's those principles
Right.
that are like that is the foundation. Is no one feels bad for you. It doesn't mean that people can't empathize, but if you're not working, someone next to you is. If you're not
Right.
hustling, someone's making money off you. Right? You're either a hustler or you're a customer. That's kind of how it goes. And that doesn't mean drug dealing. That doesn't mean tricking. That doesn't mean doing no. That just sometimes I mean just going to school. Sometimes that means
Yeah.
just going to work, taking care of your kids, like checking on your people. Like that's but staying solid. So a lot of times you'll see, and I'm just gonna use wrestling as an example, right? Because now that's my social circle, right? You'll see
Hmm.
people really on stage one of life,
That's true.
and they
That
might
is true.
and they might be a world champion. You know what I mean? Like there's so much stuff that you don't see, like the balance of it. That's why, like bookings and how we talked about how it's kind of hard to really like mark your path the way that you want to, and not because it's harder, but because it's not in right now to maybe promote that necessarily. There's a lot of individuality that we preach and we celebrate, but it's still the foundation of that is still group mentality. If it's popular,
Hmm.
we'll talk about it. If it's what's in right now, we're gonna speak on it. But if it's not, we're gonna chill. And that's
Right.
not saying that it's wrong, but again, like people like you and me, we see it because we're from New York. This is schoolyard stuff. We've seen the tier system. We've seen it already. So it bothers us because we know how controllable it is for us to not care about it. Like, man, this is whatever. But we also know the importance of our brand, of why sometimes we need to dumb ourselves down respectfully to
Mhm.
speak their language. And it's hard when we're trying to do our own thing because our own thing
Right.
is so different already that it has to be digestible for the consumer. And it's not it's an enjoyable struggle. I'll put it that way because it's just making us
Yeah.
better. You know,
Yes. Yes, that's true. And it, it's interesting that you bring up the fact of, well, let's just take it back a little bit to the CONTRA unit because I feel like it does present itself as force for like a new world order um type of setup. From your perspective, what is wrong with the current world of MLW that you and Condra is trying to fix?
it's the rules of you have to win certain matches to get certain positions. You have to be in certain conversations to be placed in certain atmospheres, such as um, the posters, in terms of certain logos, certain things of that nature. And it's easy to be, to work hard and all that stuff. But the problem is, if you're not being put in those matches, you can't win those matches.
Mhm.
So Contra Unit is, well, if we forcibly give no one else the chance, the chance to be in that spot, if we can provoke champions to themselves with their pull, put us in those matches. We know what the outcome's going to be, but that's why management doesn't put us in. So the
Right.
idea is, how do we make the system work for us? Yeah, take it over the system. Cool. That might take too long. My back hurts. I'm tired. Let's let them implode on themselves.
Right.
Kojima-san. Hey, Akamura. Yeah, fuck you. Oh, New York. Cool. Cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then we take the
Right.
time. Janai says, "What women's division? It's just me. Do something about it. Here someone comes, kick, done. There you go."
Yeah.
Cruel's like, all right, I'm gonna get in this ladder match. Boom, gets the contract. Everyone's hyping up Riddle Dijak 3. He doesn't care. He's watching you. Yeah, maybe it didn't work out a couple of times, but he still has it. So did it really not work out? We didn't
Right.
lose anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we lost the tag titles. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, Suzuki has to handle business in Japan. That's cool. What am I doing September 13th? What did I do before that? I took the title. Stop me. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
MJF took
Talk more about
MJF
that.
took his mask, right? MJF took Mystico's mask after I did. Oh, MJ. Oh, like you know what I mean? All these other guys they're doing this and next. Again, shout out to him. That's bro. I like him, but it's just the idea. Like but what's in, right?
Right.
The headline was Mystico got unmasked. Society says when MJF does it, let's blow it up. So it's not bitterness on my part. It's just me knowing that I'm not falling into that game of it all.
Right.
You're not going to put me in the title picture. I'll take the title picture. You don't think I'm going to take your face? Why? People think that your legend has nothing to do with me smacking you in the face. Your resume has nothing to do with your face getting kicked off. Like it's still going to happen. My feet don't care what you did. I don't
Right.
care if you're in WWE. You're going to be in a grave next. Like I don't like who. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where like people don't think past that level. I do. Contra Unit does. So like with Templario, the same thing. And New Japan this, CMLL that. You still have a heartbeat, and you still have to stand in front of me, and I know how to stop that. So it comes down to that, and then that's why like this match is me not proving to myself. I already know it's me putting another stamp. Not again.
Mhm.
I might not get the praise that I earned September 13th. I might wake up September 14th, and the only person to hit me up is my wife and some of my boys. That's cool. That's cool because I'll look to my right, and the title will be there. I might look
Right.
behind that, and Templario's mask might be there. I check my bank account, and I'm still smiling. I don't the hate. The hate or the response or the popularity, yes, that's important. Yes, I understand, but it also comes in waves.
Right.
Fans change opinions every 2 hours. They ride whatever wave they say they have to ride on. But the individual thought, I see it. And I tweeted that once before. I said, instead of worrying about all the likes you're not getting, you might get 6 likes today. Those 6 people have been liking your shit for months, years. You take care of them. When that big
Yeah.
check comes, hell yeah, those 6 people are getting something. Hell yeah, they are. And they don't got to ask for it. They don't got to like none of that. Like they're taken care of because that's how I rock. That's how I am. I'm
Right.
not a lot of these people that get 26,000 likes on everything. They don't even know how to handle fame. They don't know how to talk to girls. They don't know how to talk to kids. They don't know how to talk to adults or TV people. They don't even know how to dress. Act like you're gonna put me on Good Morning America with some dirty ass Converse on. Like you'll never, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. But again, at the same time, name your top 5 Asian American world champions. Name your top 5 Asian American Royal Rumble winners, video game covers, main event players on the talk shows that can even cut a promo in English without it being a joke. Nobody. So they don't know what to do with me because there's no one like me. So, but I know what to do with
Right.
me. Give me a spotlight, give me a camera, give me a title, give me a chance, and I'm gonna show you. But that comes with those other instances of being with Contra, taking a title, spitting in someone's face, grabbing a camera, going down to Mexico, taking a mask, dealing with the heat, and not backing down from anybody. That's how I rock. That's that style. That's my energy with it, and it's all a longer road, but it's on purpose. I don't want the shorter one because the recognition that I have in the back, the recognition I have of my peers, and then my resume is crazy. Besides the first year of like small indies trying to figure stuff out, it's
Yeah.
only been it's only been the best in the world. So like people's wish list are my resume already. So I'm not even gonna, so we're not even comparing that. And in terms of like venues being given, no, I'm not booked all the time. I know I'm not flooded with bookings right now. Trying to figure out the game in that sense because was always put in a good position. But now trying to learn the game and understand it the right way, but also not trying to fall for anybody. ECW Arena done that. Arena Mexico did that. Sportatorium did that. North Carolina Center where Ric Flair came in on the helicopter. I wrestled there. Like, out in California, there's wrestle for the crowd. Like these are things where like it's not casual at all, but these are things that were meant to happen based on how I say I carry myself and the company I keep around me and the lessons that I learned in life to bring me to this point. Like I'm not messing around, but I'm also unaware of the game. Not that I'm ahead of the game or bigger than wrestling, none of that. But I understand how certain shit works where popularity is an illusion, but also that perception is reality of what's going on. I know my turn's coming. So in the meantime, I'm loading up this resume, these credentials without a lending hand, without a handout, without insane fan support, without this without being part of a cult or part of like an inner circle, whatever it is. I'm not doing that. A lot of people came in here for friends and things like that, and I appreciate that. I met some of the best people in this business. But I got a mortgage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Some people don't even pay their phone bill. You know what I mean? Like there's just a difference. And I'm not putting anybody down, but there's a leveling up and there's a level in general that I like to speak to. Like again, that's why I wanted to jump on your show so much because you're cut from that cloth as well. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's we need more of that. We need to bring that back. But we're not gonna flip it down people's throats because that's not how people learn. It's just doing our own thing and real recognize real, and that will grow. That's where I'm putting my chips on. Because at the end of the day, I can never look at my daughter, I can never look at my wife or look at my boys or my parents and be like, yeah, like you bitched out to get there. Or like you really like, did something that you weren't that wasn't you to be where if they tell me I gotta be a samurai or some shit, I mean, even if it's my dream job, I'm gonna have to walk away from that. And that might not be everyone's decision, but I know who I'm not like, no, like you're because that would mean they're missing out on an opportunity that they never had before.
Right.
I'm not from Japan. I don't know K-pop. I don't know anime, not on purpose. It's just not my thing. It's just not me. I mean, maybe I can be put onto it, but it's just the things like this is not K-pop. This is just I have the face of similarity of what you've seen.
Yeah.
But no one's been able to articulate it that way. And in a business sense, I know that's marketable. I know it is. And MLW is the first and only real company other than Remarkable, my home promotion, Beyond, Limitless, but and of course, Expect the Unexpected out in Jersey, ETU, who understands that value. And it's not the selfish, oh, it's me. Nah, but it's just, I know what I'm supposed to do. And it's this at the highest level. It's just waiting for people to wake up for it. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I hope.
Yeah, no, I mean you really said a mouthful because you know when you do think of the bigger promotions, WWE, AEW, TNA, there is a certain look that they have for Asian American or just Asian in general wrestlers. And you're right. None of them talk
Yeah.
like you. None of them dress like you. None of them has that swag. None of them when they talk, you see, oh, like he's one of them, like you
You know
don't.
what I mean? And it's not like they have to have it. Like that's not like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a rule. Like I was saying before, like I got a lot of friends. Like my tag partner, Gabe Sky, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's not
Mhm.
we're not the same at all. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't matter about necessarily like exactly that, but like you said, but it's just what makes you stand out and what hasn't been done already
Yeah.
in this world. If you have like, you know, at the time, like, Stone Cold's there. If there could be 12 amazing bald goatee wrestlers and they will
Right.
not get the job because we have one. You never had one that can do it that way. Now this again, it's not, again, I'm not discrediting anybody because there's no point in that because it's not about that. It's just the why I've been hashtagging my turn on everything. And
Mhm.
I'm not trying to wear this invisible cape where I'm speaking for every Asian wrestler on the planet. No, but if I
Right.
can be the first of anything, I can be. I think one of the only Asian American wrestlers on TV, period, right now. Like I don't think, let alone getting camera time, and I think that matters. Um, I think it's important that every group gets recognized and every person gets their right. I remember when there was a large, like, just how special it was when Kofi won the world title, right? And
Right.
then and Lashley getting and Swerve and just how beautiful, because it became, the whole point was for it to become regular, for it
Right.
to not be like, oh wow, another black, like, no, it's not the champion. That's what it is. Acknowledge the beauty of culture and diversity,
Mhm.
but don't make it because it's that. Right, like that's a hard battle even to this day. You even have people like the Biancas of the world, the Big E's of the world, like who still and continue to show, and
Right.
and I mean Mercedes right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just it's beautiful. And then I remember thinking, like, growing up, I didn't look up to anybody because I also only knew WWE. So I didn't know about like Japan. I didn't know about that really yet until I really kind of started getting into
Right.
it. So I didn't have heroes like that. I had people that were dope, but in the video game, what were they ranked, like a 60? You're not picking them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like them, but you're not picking them. You're not out here like, oh, where's the, what's his name, for Halloween. It's not happening that way. But why?
Right.
And then that became regular. You knew no one would, and no one questioned it. Not saying that it was right or wrong, and maybe the fact that New Japan exists makes people desensitized. Like, oh well, no, there's a lot of shit. No, it's a whole promotion in another country. Of course, there's gonna be a lot. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
here, it's not there, and it's not that it's a problem because maybe no one was ready for it yet. That's also true. You don't just get it because. But I think that there's never been anyone who has articulated this role the way that I have.
Right.
So that being said, there's a lot of trial and error, but I'm cool with it because I know a step that I take is a step that someone else doesn't have to because it's a lesson now. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. And it's everything. Getting your education, being able to turn things around in your own life personally, being able to patch things up with your parents, being able to find a partner and go to war with them in the same way, but not against them, but with them, trying to learn what that is to be a true partner. Now being a father, like, being understanding like the differences in loyalty on what on other types of relationships, unlike your friendships and your boys, the people you grew up with, people who are, maybe behind bars right now, maybe people who are struggling with drugs or struggling with, with other financial things, and being
Mhm.
able to balance that, being able to have the guts to move away, to move away from everything that I knew and start a life there, and understanding, home ownership, understanding real estate, understanding like other investments and things like that, that whole leveling up. So when I'm in a locker room, I'm not talking about nonsense and idiots and food. Like, no, I'm listening to people talk about investments. I'm listening to talk about, yeah, how do you manage being on the road like this and you got a family? Because I'm not there yet, but I want to be like
Right.
everything good with the wife. Like, you guys got You guys got a special like plan? Like you guys got like a date night with it? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you check in on them, like how do you handle the time zones? Hey, your kids are going to school now. Like what's that like? Like, you know, all of that in between, because that's real life. That's what you want to learn. You gotta level up. As soon as I went to MLW, I was like, oh cool, I'm not the hardest worker in the room yet. That's great. What can I learn here? Having great guys and great mentors. I don't talk to them every day. I don't have to, but we have an understanding where like I'm not going there to bullshit. I'm not going there to politic because oh you're there, I have to talk to you. No, it's like I want to be put on. Like tell me like what's up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, you know, it just whew. I feel like you
I
our
talk.
lives is parallel. No, no, I mean no, because it's like when I hear you talk, it's like so many things I want to say because it's parallel to me, you know, and just want you to know how, you know, I would love to be in a position that you're in where you can sit across people, you know, your peers who has been where you want to go or in the same position as you are now, and they're able to give you, you know, tips and stuff and tell you, look, like I see what you're doing. I did that too. Let me tell you the correct way, you know, so that you don't have to go through what I went through. And, you know, like I said, I've been doing this, next year will be 10 years. And I had to learn, yeah, I know. I know when people hear 10 years, they're like, well, damn, how old is she? I'll be 40 in two
That's beautiful.
years.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
But I had some mentors,
Yeah.
but I came across a lot of people who felt that I knew too much. So
Mm.
therefore that the help stopped. You know,
Oh,
so a lot of things I had to
yeah.
learn on my own. Even in this, you know, it's like I came in here thinking, well, I've already been, you know, I worked at the source. I was at Revolt. You know, I've done these things. I could cover wrestling. No, it's hard because it's so many people that's been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
I still feel like I got to start over, even if I have more leverage, you know, or more experience. You know,
Yeah.
I still feel
Yeah.
like I have to start over because I haven't been doing it as long as they have. Um, but you know, all I can say is that you know I'm just glad that you do have those people who you know don't see you necessarily as competition. Therefore, they're not going to be help. You know, they're like, no, you're one of us, and I'm gonna put you on so
Yeah.
that you don't have that you
Yeah.
know that
That's
struggle.
it. No, that's it. Because there's the comment because there's a combination of it too. Because they'll let you know like it is competition where that's a thing that you want to be. You want someone to you want to feel people breathing down your neck, but respectfully because they're not coming after your well being. They're coming after the position that you earn because that's what we got. That is our like that is another version of a championship for us to be in that
Right.
spot where the office trusts you, where the boys trust you, where people look at you or look at your body of work as something that's going to be remembered, but it's also a learning tool. Like those are things
Right.
where like being able to be in that position to get the respect of people that you respect in a work sense. A life sense is great too because when you connect with someone on a life sense, they're definitely going to help you in a work sense because they know you're solid. I'll throw Dijak and Paul London as two of those people are who I greatly respect, and they're people who I got to talk to on a personal level, which I think is always good when you're not like starstruck about people. I'm not starstruck with people
Right.
by accident because I don't really know anybody or I don't recognize people right away. So I'll just meet them
Right.
straight up. So, but a lot of times too, people can think who they are, and people can also like meet you. But again, we're from New York, so we know when people are putting that voice on or that mask on, like
Mhm.
because there's nothing to prove that way, and if you have to prove something at like 42 or whatever. Like that's, what did you
Right.
miss? Right. Because, we just know too much, in that sense. So I think a lot of it is like being mature enough now and being around enough reality to know when there's good people that you can learn from, and being humble enough to know that like it's not strong to do things only by yourself. That's not the way. It's strong to know when you can find guidance, because anyone that has made it is a culmination of all the advice that they've got that was worth something, you
Right.
know? So that's why, and even with you too, like in terms of like reps, I think that like it goes both ways, because I do know like definitely experience, like duration of experience definitely matters, but also the quality of your guests and the quality
Yeah.
of the work you've already done. It's not that it makes up for time in that way, but it does, in the sense where a lot of the mistakes that other people are made are not on camera. Like you did that in school, you did that in your earlier career, things like that, or when or at a time where like these types of flat platforms were newer. So like you kind of came in already understanding like cadence and lighting and and when to ask questions, when to deal, all that stuff. Where a lot of people, yeah, they might have 1,000 more interviews, but 700 of them suck. I think about that with wrestling. I haven't had that. I've had maybe 100 matches in my career,
Okay.
like ever. And I'm not happy about that. My back is, because I've had less bumps than people that have done like 400 matches a year. But
Right.
I'm not wrestling nobodies. So everything that I am involved in is a lesson, and that includes camera work, interviews, wardrobe, catering, travel, packing, talking to family, time zones, everything that you don't think about. I am now aware. Anyway, TSA pre-check, all these things. Again, it's basic stuff technically, but it's still game.
Hmm.
You're not learning that when you're changing in a room that's connected to the bathroom, that's connected to the concession stand. Like again, it's not shitting on anybody. It's just the value of where you're going to be at and what you're doing. You're Whether you fall in front of 30,000 or fall in front of 3 people, you're still falling. You're still
Right.
landing in your neck. It's still there. It's still that. So I want to make sure, if I'm going to do it, that there's going to be value to the whole package of it. I don't care about driving 12 hours, but if that 12 hours is going to put me in a position where I'm going to get eyes, I'm going to get noticed, I'm going to get credibility, I'm going to have notoriety, I'm going to have more pictures, more footage, good footage, and connections to network. If one of those things aren't there, then that place is not for me. And I have
Right.
to be okay with that. If that means I'm not booked, well, then that's another day with my daughter. That's another day with my wife. That's another day reading about investments. That's another day at the gym without being sore. And I got to be able to take that on the chin as these things come up. My goal, of course, is to be booked every single week at all the promotions that have high value. But again, that's also a goal that is reachable. But I'm also respectful of the time frame of how my way might take it.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Now, you mentioned somebody who, I he's a legend. He is a legend in his own right. I've watched a lot of his matches. Just like you, I didn't necessarily grow up watching a lot of Japanese wrestling growing up, but I would say within the last 2, 3 years, um, I got more acquainted to it. And I feel like, oh, it's a whole new world, right? Like it's just a whole new branch of wrestling that kind of makes what we've been watching growing up kind of like child's play in a sense when it comes down to them. And I'm talking about Minoru Suzuki. Now, he kind of scary when I see him. He's somebody that I would love to meet. But he's kind of scary, and you have spoken about learning a lot from him.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's man. He's somebody who you respect his work, but you respect his respect.
mhm,
That's what drew me to him. I'm talking like he enters the room and everybody like acknowledges that.
yeah,
Not for a handshake, not for no. That is just when very rarely in other professions do you get to meet trailblazers on a on a personal level or on a semi-regular basis. Like people like astronauts now aren't talking to the originators of NASA. They're not doing that all the time. They're not seeing, they're not going across and seeing all these different scientists and astronomers that have done. No, they're not. If you go to even like in baseball, you're not gonna see Jeter every game. You're not gonna see. You're just not doing that. You're not seeing Michael Jordan pop up but wrestling, you do. You get to be with them, and a lot of times their careers extend where you get to work with them, and they get to be involved in what you're doing. So for me, it was sponge time. It was like, hey, like I'm not gonna kiss your ass because I don't even know how to do that. But I am going to acknowledge the fact that you could have said no to partnering with me. You could have said no to CONTRA Unit. No one is making you do anything. Anything that you do is your choice and your choice only. So it wasn't so much the first time because everyone can say, yeah, bro, I'll give you a chance. It was the second time where it was like, okay, he really could have said no. There's something about what we're doing or something how I'm presenting myself that is right. And then you have the language barrier in between. So a lot of it's body language, making sure, getting to the locker room first and grabbing the water, giving it to him, making sure he has his seat ready, making sure like I can take a knee and be like, everything was okay. Are you okay?
Right.
Thank you. I'm not saying, hey, we gotta take a picture right now. As a matter of fact, he's the one that grabbed me to take a picture. Like that's where I try to let him understand that, and also obviously within it, like show him physically that I'm not a YouTube grappler, that I do this. I'm not in Indie Darling type of sense where I understand his game, but also understand it more so from an amateur sense in fights that I think he respects because that's the world that he's from. And I also think there's part of like even I don't say culture, but maybe racially there's a part of like let me help him maybe in there, and as he's gotten a little older too. Because it's funny, it's like a weird high school cafeteria when I come back, and it's like Kenta and Kojima and Kushida and Suzuki and Akamura and this past week, that show in June, like Okada was in the back, like it's like, and you go to, it's like I don't know if I can sit there, and then I go look over there, and then there's like for lack of a better term, it's like a bunch of white wrestlers, like I know them, and it was just like not knowing exactly where to go, but that's the whole point. And then it all comes full circle of like, well, shit, I guess I'm kind of good with everybody. That's nice, you know what I mean? And also like, because now it's like those all are different conversations that have knowledge. That's that's how I look at it now.
Yeah. So, what would you say is the most valuable thing that you learn, either from him directly or just by just watching him when he works?
It's funny. He told me to have fun. I think that's a very honest answer for someone who's on the end, like the end part of his career, and seeing how I'm really just starting to find my own now. So I think he knows the balance of taking it seriously, but not so seriously that you don't enjoy it. Because if you didn't want to enjoy your job, you'd be in an office right now.
Right.
I get to be Ikuro Kwon. Like that's not a job, but it can be. And I think he understands why I'm passionate, because I want to make money and I want to have a legacy. But when you don't have fun, you're not always open to creativity all the time. And I think he knew that, he knows that like I really think deeply about the things that I do in there and the things that I want to portray and the stories that I want to tell. So him being able to be so serious, but him enjoy how your body moves now, enjoy how you can wake up and look forward to this the same way. Like, look, these types of things. And I think that's the life lesson there, because I haven't seen him in a while. And that is something that has helped me. When you get down, when you send out feelers, you send out messages to promoters and they leave you on red and you think that they're not. When you call out people and then like they entertain, but then the company doesn't. When you know that you know what you can portray, or you have, even crazier, you have something typed out on Twitter because you're really feeling yourself and you want to say something on your mind, and you realize like, nah, that's what everyone said before they, you know, I mean, that's what everyone said before they were like, too late. And it's not even like over the line. It's just, I wasn't having fun. I was upset. And this is no life to be upset for. So that's something that, that's like the best advice. That was like other advice. The other advice would be like, kill him. That's another advice he gave me. It's like, kill him. Is the other part. So I would say the combination of to have fun and kill him.
And kill him. Well, I have to, on the topic of fun, anytime I see a wrestler do the miss, I get a kick out of it, because it's just watching whoever receive it, you know, they just, they're in bad shape, right? And when I saw you back in June, you actually caught a camera guy too, I think, after your match. But it is your signature weapon. It's not just an attack, it's a symbol of obscurity. It's blinding your opponent. What does that act represent to you?
Oh, it's definitely a tip of the cap of like, you know, the ones who have come before me, the Tajiris, the Mudas, you know, even like, you know, the Oscars, even just because I'm not going to ignore the fact that even though I have so much like pride in not being the Asian guy, understanding that I am, and it's a good thing to be able to represent in a different way, in your way, and still hold the essence of the cool parts about the lineage. Like, it's dope. It's dope to be Korean American, right? It's dope to have, you know, a Jamaican wife and a very confused daughter. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, it's cool to be different, and I look at that too as like, being able to find my peace and my pride with being who I am in that ring by doing that, because it's, everyone has flashbacks when they see Mist of those people. And if I can be part of that flashback because I'm doing it correctly and doing it differently, then I'm doing something that I've wanted to do at the end of the day, and that's make a name. So being able to do that, and I think it also plays into the stealth and stuff. Like, I'm not here to wrestle for an hour. I'm here to finish the job. You're in my way. I guarantee you won't be in my way again. And if you are, I'm gonna do more than temporarily blind you. I might come back with a new necklace and I'm gonna have your eye on it. You already seen I'm taking people's faces. You think that I'm above that? You think that you think I care? If you got kids, you think I care. If you got like, no, I don't care. If you're in my way, get out. And I know and again, the people that I'm with, they're not punks, so they're not gonna get out the way. I don't wrestle weakness. I only wrestle the best. So you're never going to see me talk about an opponent like they're nothing. That does nothing, because that does nothing for me. You are the best. Like Mystico, you are a god, not to me. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to spit in your face while I hold it, while you cover it up. Like, and that whole idea of, if I'm not showing up with a mask, because I want you to look me in my face, because you're not going to live to tell anybody else what happened. Right? It's that old line. If they're masked up, they're coming for these. If I'm bareface, I'm coming for everything. Like, you're not like you're like it's it. And I think that's the attitude that I want to be able to show and not just replicate, but to cement home in that way. So it's not blinding in a cowardice way. It's how much pain can I give you, and how much of this message are you going to understand? So,
right. Now, on the topic of that, yes, you do have a championship coming up in a few weeks. It was for a title that was kind of it was what's the term? I guess it just
vacated.
was vacated.
It's vacated. You know, it's just one of those things. Like, Mystico says, all right, I'm going to move up to heavyweight and I'm going to vacate the title. I'm hurt. It's like, no, you're hurt. You're not hurt. You wrestled the next day, and you're also just you're not moving up to heavyweight. You're heavyweight because you don't want to stop eating chicharrones or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And don't and you're gonna vacate the middleweight title. No, just because I want it now, you're gonna vacate. I mean, because you don't want to lose it to me, so you're gonna vacate. Who else is gunning for it? Now I hold it. Who else is a middleweight? It's not Templario's fat ass. He ain't a middleweight. I know. I'll tell him that to his face. Yeah, just like his back tat. He's lying. About that.
Yeah, we saw you. You kind of, you did a little New York thing. You kind of just snatched the belt. Said,
yeah, like that's If they're not going to give it to me, I'm not playing these games. Like, oh my god, like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing like. Where's the middleweights? I've only fought super heavyweight since I've been in MLW. Besides Akira, but that first time coming in, the War Chamber. It's the Von Erichs. It's Jeff Cobb, Richard Holiday, EJ Nduka, like Savio Vega, like not middleweight. No, not middleweights. You know what I mean? You have me going against, everyone. I even fought Fatu 3-4 years ago. Like it's just never middleweights. And because if there was, I would be on top of it. There's no middleweight that's better in that way. Myron Reed showed up for a cup of coffee. He's chilling in TNA right now. That probably would have been the next one. They just San Diego Hill. Maybe it's him. Right? But the same thing goes for any of the luchadors. That's all I always say. All these flips, all these springboards. Ain't nobody ever hit a Canadian with a broken ankle. It's not happening. No one has ever done a springboard with a broken neck, and no one's ever doing a 450 with a broken back. So I don't care what you do it now. Once I have my foot on your neck, that's how it's gonna go. So like that's so in that way and then the attitude has changed. Like what I just said right there, I almost came out of character. That's the attitude. That's what it is. I'm taking it.
Which is, I guess that would be the next question. What does winning this title legitimately means for you? But I guess, you already kind of answered that. It means that you are on the top of your weight class.
It validates the position. It validates the position of being here, not doing what I was supposed to do, getting released, getting brought back, and doing it my way. And not making the same mistake twice. First time in MLW, it was very much yes sir, no sir. Didn't talk to anybody, just followed the rules. That's what it was. Followed the rules, came to work. Didn't talk. They didn't want me to talk. No promos, no none of it. No character. Just show up and wrestle. So of course of course I got released. Got hurt. No, got hurt in between. COVID hit, all that stuff. But there was no need for me. I was replaceable. Went back to the drawing box, right? Got a little bigger, got a little angrier, got a little meaner, but just the idea of like recalibrated what my whys were to do this. And what I wanted to be, how I wanted to leave this world and why I chose this world to be a part of. Like that's that's where it came down to. And now I talk all the time. Now they're going to know I have something to say. If there's a camera, I'm going to look right into it. I'm going to grab it. You can watch it on the playback, watch it on the live. I don't shut up. For a lot of reasons. One, because I want you to know I can talk. But two, I have a lot of shit to say. Yeah. And I'm going to get it out. I'm going to say it. And you're going to hear about it. And I'm going to show you how I back it up. And then it got me to, more or less semi-main event in Texas. Ironically, Texas is where I made my debut officially in a match, War Chamber 1 or 2, whatever it was. Myself, Jacob Fatu, Simon Gotch, and Joseph Samael versus Low-Key, the Von Erichs, and Tom Lawler. It was my first one ever. Terrified. Now full circle middleweight championship, me and Templario. It's written, so I'm not going to say, oh, I can't believe it. I can believe it. I knew it was going to be this. Maybe I didn't know the specifics of it, but I'm not surprised this has happened. Now it's a matter of just, without saying finish my story, but like, do something for me the way that I planned it out to be, and show that,
Okay. Well, seeing as how you have a lot to say, let's say it's September 14th. You got the title. You beat him within an inch of his life. He held the title over his body. What is the first thing that what is the first thing you as a champion would do to the rest of that division? Like what is that what plans do you have as champion for the
Man,
rest of the division?
one, to never let it go, but two, use that platform for however long or however um whatever position I get to put myself in that order, whatever position it finds myself to be in, is I want to be able to defend it against everybody, and I want to defend it everywhere. You can't deny certain levels of things. And
Mm-hmm.
MLW being one of the major companies in the world, having 5 champions and me being one of them, it means something. Never been on the PWI 500. I don't care about it. Never been, never been everyone. There's a lot of things that I haven't done that a title could justify, and it's not about necessarily getting those things. It's about getting those things because of, so I know that I'm on the right track in the way that I thought that I didn't want to follow, where the after effects of me just going for what I believe in is what's going to catch on. Because I don't
Right.
need a fan base who likes me because I'm in style. The fan base that I want are people who believe in what I'm trying to say and know that I'm somebody who doesn't
Yeah.
let them down based on how I carry myself and what I'm trying to do. Title, no title. I've been the middleweight champion for a few months now.
Yeah.
No one has challenged me except Templario, which is fine. But he doesn't just walk up into my MLW and get a title shot because he looks dope. And we're not discrediting what he's done, but he hasn't done anything in MLW compared to what I have. So when he walks in, it's not Templario the Great. It's me and you. That's it. That's just how it is. He's not my enemy. I have no beef with him, but he's trying to take something that I've worked hard for, that I've
Mm,
literally been here for. He he's doing it. This is another match to him. This is a different fight for me. This is a different reasoning for me. And he just happens to be on the other side of it. And it's gonna be ugly, like I said, because he's used to lucha.
right.
I don't know if he's ever had to beg before. Like, he's used to people letting go when the ref says stop. What happens when he's screaming for the ref and the ref is knocked out next to him, and I'm still like these are conditions he's not prepared for.
Right.
And even if he says he's prepared for, you can come up with anything in here. I've killed a lot of people in here, you know what I'm saying? Like, in that sense of it, but like, it's different. It gets dark when I walk in rooms. Like, it's a different feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not walking out the same way, and you damn sure aren't walking out with that title, because I'm not gonna stop. You're
Right.
not even gonna, like, he, like, basically the point, like, he's not even gonna want the title.
Mm,
His whys and why it's worth it for him is different than mine. He will kill for it in a commercial sense. I will kill him for that championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that,
I
he doesn't,
believe it.
so he doesn't really, there's a different energy that he's gotta figure out. Cause, like, he has just enough skin left for an RIP tail. Like, that's about it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that, you know, he's gonna step into the ring with a different beast. And I don't know if there's a particular way that you could prepare for that. It's really just a battle of the fittest. You just have to fight to the bitter end. Like, someone is going to leave that ring different than the way they were before. And it's not just going to be as a champion. Something within them is going to change. And that could be for the better, or that could be for the worst of the division. Because if I walk out that ring more angrier, more upset, more intense than I was when I stepped into that ring, there's a target on everybody's back, But even as a champion, you could still become meaner and more intense because now you have something that everyone is going to want. And now you got to keep your head on the swivel. So, I'm going to be watching that match. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be sitting right where I'm at right now. I'm going to be watching that match. And, you know, no offense to the other man, I'm sure he's good or whatever, but you know who I'm rooting for, fellow New Yorker. I have to. But I'm just we're gonna speak that into existence. You're gonna
And
walk
that's
out that ring.
no, and
Mm. And you
so
was
that
you was definitely giving DMX just now.
yeah,
I don't know if you remember that Breakfast Club
yep,
segment. That's what you just gave just
yep,
now, but I feel it. I feel it.
yeah,
And it's legit. And I feel like that's the way that you have to be. You
yeah.
know, you have to be that way. So, of course, I have to wrap up this portion
The lightning
of
round, right?
yes, but first, I do have to ask you the most important question of all, which is how you want people to remember you as a wrestler, you know, long after you're gone. I think we all kind of, at some point in our lives, we think about our own mortality
Yeah,
and we think about the things that we have done, the things that we're doing, our dreams, our goals, and what we want not only people that support us, but our family, our children, the legacy that we want to leave for them to possibly carry on after we're gone. So, what is it that you want people to remember you by?
man. I think the number one thing is that I want to represent following through in the sense that, like, I'm adopted. I never met my parents, right? Me and my sister, separate orphanages, but just in that, getting adopted, coming here, not knowing anybody, growing up, New York, like no one looks like you, no one, you know, that whole instance. And then one day, this kid who's fighting all the time, trying to defend himself, and in the sense of just trying to find out who I am, turns on wrestling one day. 6, 7 years old, never grew up from it. Yeah, obviously you get involved in girls and again, just street shit and just other problems in schools, and then you meet people and things can get confused. But
Mhm.
that whole point of, nah, this is what I want to do. Couldn't see myself in an office. Couldn't see myself like with just a name tag. Like, and then it's not even looking down on it. I just knew like from a long time ago that my whole existence is a chance. I should have been
Mhm.
aborted. I should all that. Like, there's no way. And yet I was given this mindset of wanting to do something and understanding
Mhm.
very young that plan A is all of it. Plan A is being able to follow your dream. Plan A is also having steady income and multiple streams of income. Being able to have a partner and grow with that person. Being able to build a legacy with that person and have similar ideas and build property and build generational wealth. Being able to, have solid people behind you and have a team with you. There's a lot of moments in my life. There was times where, man, we could have, fights and a lot of violence. And I remember one instance of being in a position where um, the result of it was that some people didn't come home that night, and I might have been one of those people. The issue was that I wanted to go. I wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to help. Big hand on my chest. Friend's older brother says, "You got shit to do. Don't get in this car." He's one of the ones that didn't
Right.
make it back. And it was one of those, again, small moments in life. I got arrested my first month into wrestling training, and my wife was an intern at the time at the DA's office, and I remember being in that position, being like, "This isn't like this is a good woman. Like I gotta chill." And I remember like getting another sign of like, there's a reason why you're getting these epiphanies of wanting to find change and wanting to do something with yourself. Fast forward to, and I got a master's degree in social work. I'm also certified child and family therapist, specializing in addiction and trauma, being able to pay back that way, troubled youth and everything in between. Black belt, getting signed to MLW, going to Mexico, all of these things in between. Like I never did not do what I said I was going to do. Have I made mistakes? Hell yeah, I made mistakes. And there's things that, there's regrets in between. But the way that I move and the way that I promise myself and my family and my friends that I'm going to move, I'm going to do it. And if anyone can learn anything from me for a legacy, especially my daughters, if you love something, there's a reason why you wake up loving it. There's a reason why some dreams stay on the pillow and some dreams carry with you. There's a reason why you're gravitated towards certain passions, and it's your job to figure out what it is. And also letting her know that I got you when you figure it out. So that's something where like that's the legacy more so is now my bloodline, but also the people that I've been able to guide or been able to be a part of, whether it's clients with therapy, whether it's friends, whether it's families, whether it's strangers, whether it's fans. But it's something where I want to be able to be somebody who people remember in a sense of guidance and honesty, so they know that it exists. A lot of times people speak to me and it's such a great conversation. I'm not even gassing myself up, just the context of what we end up talking to, because sometimes it'll be my first time meeting, and it's an energy that people are so foreign of because they've been backstabbed, they've been cheated on, they've been lied to, they've been this, they've been that. So when they speak to me, I give them, I make sure that they understand that I'm talking to them, but I'm talking to their inner being at the same time. And I want them to take that with them. Once they know that it exists, they know that it can happen again. And maybe it sparks something in them to fix something, or to just carry that energy with them for the rest of the day. And that's fine too. But in the sense of maybe one day you'll extra rush to the door because you see an old lady walking and you're going to hold the door open. Maybe you'll see an opportunity to make an investment or to take a chance, take a certification, go back to school or do something. And it's because I said, well, you can. Of course you can. I believe in you if no one else does. And having that be the energy. So that's going to be my legacy overall, is that. And then wrestling is an additive of my example, of my why, of what I decided to do. And it's that. So that's going to be my overall legacy, is being able to be a pillar of light for people.
Right. Now, see, I wasn't expecting all of that, especially like when I see you in the ring. You know, I just believe that there's a message there, and I hope that my listeners receives that message. I hope they do, because there was a message there. And I just want to thank you on not only on my behalf, but on their behalf too, because that was a word. Okay. You are wise beyond your years. And I don't know if you hear that often, but I'm telling you that you are
I
wise
said
beyond your years.
when I get like gray hair and shit, like they're really gonna listen to me.
Yes, but now it's time to have a little fun real quick before I let you go.
Yeah.
I know your baby is looking for her
she's,
daddy's attention. So we're gonna do a little this or that New York style, because you're from New York, and I want to see how many of these I agree with. So here we go. Lightning round, this or that. The play. So bodega breakfast. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll or on a bagel?
See, it's hard now because I'm in Florida now, so I gotta say bagel, because that's what I've been doing when I come up, because I gotta get both. Gotta get both. But when I was living in New York, it was a roll.
Okay.
When I was living there, it was
Subway KS, the A train, the 7 train.
Yeah. Fastest way to Harlem was the A train. Man, that's it's such a funny this this or that. Oh, I'm gonna just say the A train. That's what
Okay.
I'm gonna say the A train.
New York rap goat, Jay-Z or Nas?
Oh man,
Don't
see
think, don't think too long on it.
everything
Don't think
comes with
too
an
long on it.
explanation. No, the answer is Nas, but the Jay-Z part, I'm understanding Jay-Z more now. Like he talks about like rich shit now. He talks about paintings and like French food. Like no one knows what like he's at a different he's at a different level. Nas, it's not. I mean, because I like storytelling. I like so I gotta say Nas. I'm sorry, Jay.
Okay. Now, we talked about the bodega breakfast. Now I gotta talk about the bodega sandwich.
Oh,
bacon and cheese, chopped cheese.
Oh man. When did I start getting stomach aches from chopped cheese? That's what I'm trying to decide on that one, right? Like, man, no, but bacon, egg, and cheese got me through high school. Gotta say, I got a loyalty to. I gotta say
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, I got a loyalty.
Okay. Prospect Park or Central Park?
Oh shit. Central Park. It's just nostalgic. It's just nostalgic. Like there's a lot of memories over there.
Okay. The Bronx or Brooklyn?
You're trying to get me in trouble. Get me in trouble. Oh man, I'm going with the Bronx.
Bronx.
Yeah.
The Yankees or the Mets?
See, now I'm wearing a Yankee hat, so I want to say Yankees. My grandpa liked the Mets. I'm torn. I'm gonna say Yankees because I'm wearing Yankees.
All right.
I'm not good at this lightning round. Everything else I was good at.
Diner or a holocaust?
Oh shit. Again, my back started hurting standing up, so I'm gonna say diner.
Okay.
Eating standing up. But again, the last time I was in New York, went to the went to the halal course right outside. It was just yeah.
The food on the side to be looking good, so it's like, and it smells too. It just be there.
But again, again now all my answers are so much more like sentimental now. Like again, when I was in New York this weekend, I went to the diner with my boys. We sat down, like we were just, we were chilling. We were, bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning with my mom. Like this is like on a New York bagel, like all these things, like listening to Illmatic at the gym. Like there's too much nostalgia going on.
It's true.
You're setting me up.
I mean, I have to test how New York you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand you're in Florida now, but
I know it's getting worse and worse.
It is. Now I do have the last question. And you're free to take your time on this one. What is the ultimate New York City flex? Finding the perfect place to get your kicks or finding the right barber?
Oh man, I want to say sneakers and clothes because everybody's got their guy, everybody's got their deal. Like now, like I don't know. I'm like now I understand this. Like poppies just know how to cut hair, so like it's just you go to them, you're good. They always know when because I'm I'm the only Asian guy that walks up in there, so they just usually just would get a seat. But funny enough, I had surgery on my leg, so I couldn't sit in the barber chair for like all of COVID.
Okay.
Because of how my leg was, so I had to like do like barber stuff. I learned how to like cut my own hair. So a lot of times I do it myself now. That's why I wear a hat a lot. But sneakers for sure. Because I remember not even just like growing up, even like now, because like we used to go to stores, so you can still go to the store. Now you can't do any of it. So like and obviously the prices have gone, they're so crazy. Like I'm still on the impression that I'm not paying $700 for sneakers. Like I'm not buying into that. Like some stuff, I've I've spent dumb money on dumb things, including shoes at a time. But like I don't the reselling thing. I'm out of that. I'm like out of the game. So now I kind of rely on
Right.
those stores that my boys mentioned. They're like, oh, hit them up. I got you. Tell them I sent you, right? And
Yeah.
they try. So like that would be my at least for the flex now, but also back then because like by the time like we even cared about hair, you should have already knew it. Like you should like having a barber is that's it. That's the like you have to. We're not.
Right.
So, but with sneakers, it's like everyone had was fresh, but it was like, well, where'd you get those? Well, I got this colorway over here. Yeah, well, and then and it just came in, especially like was it like middle school when like the Bape hoodies really started getting popular, right? And
Oh
just like
no.
where are we getting them, right? Like, or even like I remember like I forget even get what the brand was because every girl had them the flat shoes with the mesh and the flowers on top, like the little. Remember those? You remember
Oh,
those? It was like
is
those
that?
we were wearing fat farms then too. Like we had yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, cause shoot, there was a
Yeah.
time when you used to be able to get a pair of Uptowns for like $100, like a Grand Concourse
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah.
Westchester. Now, like now, you're gonna pay about you gonna drop at least two
No, and that, yeah,
for a
and
pair
that's
of
the thing too,
sneakers.
because remember it wasn't just that because the hat had to match the shoes, it had to match the shirt, it had the belt,
Yes.
it had to match the socks, had so every time you couldn't wear it twice, or you had to whatever your rotation was, so you had to have the hookup then. Sometimes you would have like someone's older sister like made clothes. I remember like my friend's sister used to paint on like jean jackets and like jeans and so you would be able to
Yes.
customize a little bit, right? Or like I was a little too young, like it kind of happened a little when I was like third grade, so it kind of came out of style. A lot of like the airbrush on shirts
Okay.
and things like that, right? So it kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that was there, but now like '90s is kind of coming back, early 2000s is kind of coming back now. Everyone's like mad baggy again
Yeah.
and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
It
kind of like
is.
everyone's like fitteds again and stuff like that, So
I'm
like
telling you.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I might be dating myself, but there was a time when you could go to like Chinatown and there were these buildings that looked like regular business buildings.
mhm.
But when you go in there, you could get you a little
Yeah.
knockoff store,
Oh yeah, and that's even
where
like
you
even
get
just like
your
Canal Street stuff. Yeah, just even just like just Canal Street trips. Just like how that would be, you know.
yes. I
You
mean
know.
now, you might get hemmed up a little bit now because
Yeah, yeah. Now that's not there, but now these kids have Sheen and stuff, so they're good. They get to be safe. They get to be safe. They got
yeah.
Sheen, weeds legal. They don't got to worry about anything anymore.
Uh, yeah, those were the times,
Yeah,
you know. But I want to thank you for just this walk down memory lane, but also just learning more about you
yeah,
and just your career and and just listening to you just in general about everything from your legacy to your upcoming match and just coming into MLW and it was refreshing. And you are my third interview on this particular platform.
wow,
You come right after RVD. So you up there. You up there.
wow. That's amazing.
But just let the people know where they can find you
Yeah.
and I'll make sure that they follow you
Yeah, I
on
should have
your
done that with my
social.
name too. I should have put my at in the name down here. No, at the underscore Ikuro Kwon on X and Instagram. I don't got any other social media. Hopefully, you can convince me to get it. I'm really
Yeah.
bad. I will get better. I promise. But again, doing stuff like this with people like you, this is the best. So I
Yeah.
really, really, really appreciate you. We're gonna do it again. Hopefully, I got a title on my shoulder when we do it. Um,
Oh yeah.
I'm down to
This-
do a little thing with our friend Lovely as well, and
Yes.
because I got to meet her too. She really's been holding it down. We never even met yet, and she's been so cool. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
You know,
She is definitely the GOAT when it comes down to this. And I will definitely make sure that your socials is in the description box so people have no excuse to not go and follow a future champion. Because we taking that belt, you know? That's on God. We taking that belt. But thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode, and make sure that you look out for my piece on Ikuro on Body Slam. It will be out September 13th, the day of his championship match. So make sure you read the article first, and then you go and support this man as he takes his title on the 13th. That's right. So I hope everybody enjoy the rest of their day, and stay blessed. And just be kind to each other, because a lot of y'all have been tripping online. So be kind to everyone, and see you the next time. Bye.